enjoyed it. See if we can go out with a bang. We've got some more of those lucky dip clips from the talkSPORT presenters from 2018. And Andy, what's first?
It's Lisa O'Sullivan auditioning for MUTV.
Elsewhere today, Jose Mourinho insists defenders Matteo Darmian and Daley Blind are still part of his plans.
Yeah, don't call us, Lisa. This is Mark Saggers with Champions League news.
There was drama tonight right to the very end, but no glory for Bayern Munich.
I like Brian, do you?
Yeah, Brian Munich.
It's been difficult enough for him in life having a surname like Munich. But there we are, Brian Munich.
Here's the moose now. Our intrepid reporter in Moscow during the World Cup, chatting to fans from around the world.
See what fun I'm like from Morocco. Hang on, just bear with me 2 seconds, boy. You're from Morocco?
China.
Thailand.
No, China, I think he said. You from Morocco? China, brilliant. Thailand. He makes friends
Morocco,
all around
North
the world.
Africa, China, but don't worry about it. I'm sure it was just a one-off.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny, where you from, Kenny? Russia, yeah?
Well, I'm not Russian, so I'm from West Africa.
Yeah, really? He struggled there, didn't he? Not from Russia, from West Africa. Now, we heard the Wigan manager Paul Cook's 2 very distinct voices earlier on. But here's Joey Barton on Breakfast turning into John Lennon.
We had obviously a new manager coming in and new staff in and around that, and I just wanted the lads to, that familiarity and feel comfortable.
I don't know what happened there.
What happened there?
Weird. Dean Saunders now with his angle on what happened to Neil Lennon at the Hearts-Hibs game a couple of months back.
I'll give you a different way to look at it. If you walked into Asda and started abusing the manager of Asda and stood back and threw a £1 coin at his head, you get jailed.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd certainly have to stop shopping at Asda.
You'd have to go
I
to
think they'd bar you.
Somewhere.
Go to Sainsbury's or another supermarket. And staying with that incident-packed game, here's newsreader Victoria Bourne.
Neil Lennon was hit by a coin. Hearts goalkeeper Blobby Zlamal.
Poor old Blobby, the goalkeeper. He'd fill the goal, wouldn't he?
He did, yeah.
It'd be enormous. Great for penalties.
Tony Cascarino on the Weekend Sports Breakfast, suddenly getting very cockney.
I really don't want to tempt fate, but I would fancy England in similar circumstances again now.
What about, Jim, I was going to ask you, what about also...
What about? So cockney. What about that then? Here's the sports newsreader Craig Wakelin.
Hart was on loan at West Ham last season, and Pep boss Guardiola says nothing's been decided yet.
Pep Boss Guardiola. Yeah, that's right. That's his nickname.
It is. This is Sam Allardyce on Breakfast with a question for finance expert Henk. That's Henk Potts.
Acted and will be disruptive for businesses.
Hank,
yeah.
who's the cause of that?
Hank, I'm afraid. Hank. After that clip, us and the production team would wander around the studio going, Hank, Hank. Rather childish, really. Here's a special guest on with the 2 mics.
We've got Rennie Mullenstein here, who, of course, used to be
Rennie, great
coach
guy.
at Manchester United, first-team coach under Sir Alex Ferguson. Rennie, a very good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening.
Oh, wow. God. Oh, blimey, I hope that didn't shock you.
Oh, shouty
Rennie Mullenstein there. What's next, Andy?
It's Kate Fallis now.
Kate Fallis, yeah, Kate Fallis, the newsreader. I saw her earlier on buying a French stick and a cucumber in Tesco's. Yeah.
Here she is with Formula One news.
Britain's Lewis Hamilton made it 3 wins from 4 races by winning the Italian Grand Prix. The championship leader finishes ahead of pole sitter Kimi Räikkönen.
Kimi Räikkönen, who, of course, gave us Achy Breaky Heart. Yeah. And here's Steve Harmison on Breakfast, reinventing the English language.
One last time, going on the first morning of a test as well. Indian off-spinner, yeah. Largeable, I was going to say likeable, largeable life character, but largeable life character. I think we'll likeable, we'll leave that bit.
Yeah, take largeable out because it's not a word.
No,
it's fantastic. Really. I like likeable largeables though, don't you?
Yeah,
very nice.
What a player he was.
Yeah.
Let's get the sports news now.
midday. John's got the sport. Thank you, Max. I can honestly look back and say I'm the best player I could become.
Oh, I don't know, John. I think you could train on a little bit more. Yeah, I think you've got another good game in you. And we were a bit surprised to hear Ray Houghton say this.
I think a few of their players fell out of love with football. I've got to be honest with you. We're at the back end of Arsene Wenger.
Would you fall out of love with football, Andy, if you're at the back end of Arsene Wenger?
I certainly would.
Well, it is the panto season. I wonder who's the front end of Arsene Wenger.
There's enough room for me in that coat.
I think it probably is. Yeah, that's how they do the panto, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is Kieran Richardson on Jim White's show, recalling his days at the Hawthorns.
I chose to go with West Brom because the affiliation with Brian with Manchester United, and from the get-go I went there. I loved it. It was great. All the players there were unbelievable. So much camaraderie.
Yeah, is that Danny Cadamar?
Danny Cadamar, the former Everton player, must have been at the club. And this is Dean Saunders with a quick question for Mickey Gray.
Is this true? If you put your sail up in Norway on a boat and let it sail, it lands in Sunderland?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it really does depend on the wind direction and the tide. And B, why are you asking Mickey Gray? Really?
Norwegian sailor.
Not a nautical man.
Yes, talkSPORT cricket summariser. And Surrey skipper Gareth Batty, about to leave Sri Lanka for home.
Alex Stewart needs to get me back in the gym and get the old man back ready for action.
Has Stewie got a pump? I mean, obviously to pump up the medicine ball so he can get himself fit. You knew what I meant, didn't you? Yeah.
Definitely.
So there we are. That was the lucky dip of talkSPORT listener clips. Almost done.